So today we are going to start the revision of these three chapters, Truly Beautiful Mind, The Little Girl, and From the Sound of Music, we will take Bismillah Khan. If the time will allow us, we will also continue with Evelyn. Okay, Evelyn Glennie. Okay, so now first of all, the chapter Truly Beautiful Mind. The chapter is about the famous scientist Albert Einstein. Okay, who with his general theory of relativity has produced or has led to a world sensation, but ultimately in the end being the scientist who has made this great discovery to show the relation between energy and mass that are interconvertible, and ultimately he has joined politics in the last years of his life, but he is always considered as a visionary as well as world citizen. Why? Because he always worked for the human rights. He wanted to advocate human rights. He never wanted to spread differentiation, hatred among people. He always wanted that people should remain united. People should, and all the inventions that are being made, that must be used for the betterment of mankind, right? So now starting with the chapter, Albert Einstein, when he was born on 14 March 1879. So he was not a normal child. Even his mother was also considering him to be abnormal. Why? What is the reason? Because his head was quite large. And till the age of, you can say, when he was 2.5 years old, he was not able to speak anything. And if he is speaking anything, you can say it was, or he repeated it twice. Okay. So Albert Einstein, he was also considered to be as brother boring by his friends. Why brother boring? Because like other children, he never liked the company of other people, of other children. He wanted to play himself, and he had a special liking for mechanical toys. So when his younger sister was born, okay, Maja was born. So what was the comment made by Albert Einstein? He made the comment that that she has two hands, but where are her wheels? Because because Albert has special liking for, you can say, for mechanical toys. So that's why he always thought that the toys, they are moving upon wheels. So Maja is also sort of toy for him, and he thought that where are her wheels? Okay. So Albert Einstein, he was doing well in his school. He has studied in Munich. Later on, he has joined Switzerland, but he liked to play violin. He was an amateur violinist, and this hobby he has continued till the end of his life. So when his parents had moved to Milan, he has gone to Italy to study in Milan. So there he continued his study. So Einstein, he had great interest, or he had special liking for the subjects, mainly mathematics and science. He liked to study these. So, and has special interest in physics. So later on, he continued his study in, or after completing his school, he continued his study in University of Zurich. So in University of Zurich, what was the main thing that happened, or that was the great turn in his life? What was that? That he has met Mileva Maric. Mileva Maric, who was a Serbian, and he had a special liking for that girl Mileva. Why? Because first of all, she is a Serb, and she is, you can say, one of the few women, one of the few girls who had come here to study in Zurich, because during that time the study as well as education of women, they are not given too much importance, but she is different from different from others. That's why she has come to Zurich in order to continue her education. Moreover, he has found an ally against Philistines who hate art and literature, and he has found an ally in against Philistines, and that this is the reason that they were, since then they were doing their work on theory of relativity. You know, inventions are not made overnight. It required dedication, hard work, as well as continuous struggle, continuous, you can say, scrutiny of the, you can say, facts, ideas, and ultimately that led to inventions. So number of letters that survived, they both fell in love, and the number of you can say number of letters that survived in which they shared their love for each other, it represents that how innocently they were expressing it. Like for example, they were writing that how happy we will be when we, you can say, when we will publish our theory of relativity and it will come to a victorious conclusion. Okay, so in 1900, when he was at the age of 21, Albert Einstein, he turned out to be a university graduate, but without any job. So later on, what he did, in order to sustain his life, in order to meet the expenses, small expenses of his life, he has started given private tuitions. In this manner, he was continuing, and later on, he worked as a teaching assistant. Okay, teaching assistant and gave private lessons. And finally, in 1902, Albert Einstein, he has secured a job in, you can say, in patent office in Berlin. What was the job of Albert Einstein there? In Berlin, he was assessing the inventions of other people. And at that time also, he was continuing, or he was working, he was carrying forward his research work. So the drawer of his, you can say, table, it is called as Bureau of Theoretical Physics, because no one is allowed to open up that drawer in which he is keeping all the secret papers of his research, or he is keeping all the research papers there. That's why it was called as the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. This is main question going to be asked. Okay, so then afterwards, in 1905, he has published his famous paper on special theory of relativity, according to which he has given the world famous formula, that is E is equal to mc square, according to which energy and mass are interconvertible. And he has given his this theory of relativity, okay, in theory of relativity. And he, for example, he has shown that why two clocks on this earth, they are not showing the exact time, why there is lagging, why there is difference in the timings of the clocks. So Einstein, when he has published this, so he you can say he has little bit settled in his job also. And later on, he has presented his wish to his mother, that he wanted to marry Mileva Mary. But his mother was she was totally against the marriage of the two persons. Why? First of all, Mileva Mary was 3 years elder to Albert Einstein. Secondly, she thought that she is like another book in the house, as both had common interest in study and research. So she did not like, okay, her, you can say, she did not like her, you can say, like Albert Einstein to marry Mileva Mary. But finally, when they settled up in January 1903, okay, in January 1903, 1902, he got the job, and in January 1903, the couple married. So, initially the marriage was quite happy and successful, and they had two sons from this marriage. Both had the same intellectual abilities, both had the same intellectual likings too. But later on, this, you can say, marriage did not last for longer. It fell touch. There arose some main problems, which led to number of fights between both. And finally, the relation ended. Okay. And in 1919, after years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced in 1919. Then what happened? The personal life, or the failure of the personal life, it coincided with the rise of Albert Einstein to the world level. Okay, Einstein's, you can say, in 1915, he published his general theory of relativity, which really produced a sensation around the world. His general theory of relativity, it it it, you can say, it marked the theory of, you can say, it marked the theory of new invention, which led to, you can say, all the newspapers as well as the magazine laud the efforts of Albert Einstein. It was, you can say, celebrated by all the, you can say, publication departments, including the press as well as the newspapers. Okay, and with this general theory of relativity, he has, you can say, beforehand calculated the time of the solar eclipse and the amount of, you can say, deflection of light it will produce in the path of the stars and other, you can say, objects in the space. And ultimately the eclipse, okay, an eclipse of sun in 1919, it proved his theory was quite right. And finally, this theory was proved right, and it has given a chance to number of scientists to work further, and as he has given a major invention in this field of science, his efforts were, you can say, lauded. His efforts were lauded. They were, you can say, celebrated by all the newspapers, magazines, and he was invited to number of, you can say, functions as a chief guest to share his experience, to share his theory of relativity with others, and to share his experience how he has managed to do all this. Okay, and finally, during that he has also married his cousin Elsa. Okay, after divorcing Mileva Maric. So Einstein, he got or he received a Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. Okay, so he was showered with honors and invitations from all over the world for his theory of relativity. And during that time, now he has moved to, or he has started his political career. But how he has started his political career, this we are going to explain. So when the Nazis came in power in Germany in 1933, okay, Einstein, he immigrated to United States. During that time, many scientists, they were coming forward with the inventions of nuclear fission. Okay, but when Einstein, he has come to know about these kind of inventions, he never wanted these inventions to be used. He always wanted that these inventions should be used for the betterment of mankind rather than, no, rather than the destruction of mankind. For that, he knew that he has written a letter to American President Roosevelt, in which he has mentioned on 2nd August 1939, he has mentioned in his letter that if a single bomb will be used in a territory, what kind of destruction it will produce in that territory and the adjoining areas. Okay, actually he wanted to warn that these bombs should not be used at any place. This letter, it had an effect, but not in a positive manner. So what happened, the Americans, they also started building atomic bombs. They also started developing atomic bomb in a secret mission, and finally they have used it and thrown it upon the two cities of Japan, that is Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And the effect is quite in front of us these days, right? So afterwards, he was, you can say, he really felt bad in the deep corner of his heart for this kind of destruction that has been produced by scientific invention, because he wanted that if all these kind of inventions, they must be used for the growth of mankind rather than destruction of man. Okay, so after that, as he was deeply shaken by this kind of destruction, so next he has written a public missive. So what is a public missive? This question was also, it is a long letter. Okay, it is actually a long letter, an official letter written to the person in authority. This is the exact meaning. And what you people were writing in exam, that was entirely, you know, from where, what the source was. I need not to explain here. Okay, so he has written a public missive to United Nations. So what he has proposed in that missive, he has proposed the formation of world government. Why world government? World government in order to protect the rights of all human beings. Like for example, he was deeply shaken by the use of this atomic bomb. Okay, he wanted that a government, world government should be formed, which should, you can say, which should protect the rights of all the human beings, not of a single country, but of all entire world. He should see the entire world as a unit, that we are not the part of a single unit, single country, single territory, single boundary, but we are the citizens of the entire world. So this concept, what he has thought so many years before, it has given or it has been put forward in the name of global citizenship. So what's that? It means that he was a visionary. Okay, he has the power to see the future. He is a visionary. Okay, and he always wanted in the next decade, whatever, when he has joined politics, whatever, you can say, whatever gathering he was addressing, whichever political party he has joined, he is always working for or in order to protect the human rights. He always, you can say, you can say, propose that he always proposed and he always wanted that arms and ammunition should not be used for destruction, but it must always be used for peace and democracy, right? Finally, in 1955, at the age of 76, Einstein died, but he has turned out to be a world citizen. It means that he is not only a person or he is not only a man of his own country, but as a world citizen, because he has tried to protect the rights of the entire world. That's why. Okay. Clear chapter? Any problem? If you have, you can ask me. Yes, offline students is clear. Clear, Daksh? Next student. Clear this line? Vivan and Kartika and all? Okay, fine. Third row, fourth row. Raghav, what are you reading? Which page? Okay. So now, of online students, any doubt, you can raise up your hand. It's fine. Now, next we are going to start with the revision of the chapter, The Little Girl. The little girl, who is the little girl here in this chapter? Kezia, who was quite afraid of her father. Why she is afraid of her father? Because his father was quite strict in nature and she is not able to understand the kind of nature of his father, and she is also not able to understand the reason why he is so strict. But later on, one incident happened that changed the entire attitude of Kezia from hatred to love towards her father. And she has turned, and she has, you can say, she has a changed definition of father. So let us start the revision of the chapter. So as the chapter started, Kezia's daily routine, it is being mentioned that as his father's, you can say, conveyance or his vehicle used to go far away from the house, she felt relieved, she felt relaxed. She thought that it would be better, you move to that side please, it would be, you please center. Yes. And she thought that she must be relaxed as her father had gone. And when her father used to come in the evening, he would order Kezia to bring newspaper as well as a cup of tea. So when he would drink the cup of tea, he would order Kezia to take that empty cup back to the kitchen. And moreover, she would pull off the shoes of her father as well as socks. So this kind of fear. And she is not able to stutter in front of anybody. But when she came in front of her father, she is always stuttering. She is not able to complete one sentence. What is the reason? It was only the fear of her father. And due to this fear, she often had a nightmare in which she used to see, you can say, a butcher holding a knife and whose face is as big as his father. This is not, or you can say, this is not mentioned in the chapter that what this butcher it refers to. Actually, this butcher it refers to his father. She had a negative image of her father in her mind, and that's why she is again and again visualizing. She is again and again seeing that butcher in her nightmare. Okay, so Kezia's grandmother and mother. Okay, mother is always busy with, you can say, with making her father happy all the time, fulfilling all his needs, and she is always busy in the kitchen. And grandmother, who knew that Kezia is quite afraid of her father, and she always wanted that Kezia should spend some good time with her father in order to develop good relationships. She would call, or she would tell that Kezia should sit during Sunday with her father because that is the holiday. Okay, but what happened when Kezia used to sit during Sunday, his father would always be sleeping with hanky over his face, okay, and his legs sprawling upon one of the best cushions of the house. It means he has a dominating nature. Okay, he is so dominated in the family that no one would call him not to put his leg over the cushions. So when he would open his eyes, Kezia would be sitting on the side of a stool, and he would ask her that, why are you looking at me like an owl, as you are on the verge of being dead, or you are going to suicide. So these kind of insulting remarks that also deepen the gap or deepen the gap between Kezia as well as her father. Although she tried to come close to her father, but it never helped her. She has never come close to him. This is the reason only why she has not come close to his father. Right? So after that, her grandmother, she reminded Kezia that a week later, there is her father's birthday and she should give him a present. And Kezia, she did not find anything what to what to be given as a present to her father. So finally, her grandmother suggested to formulate or to form a pin cushion. She laboriously got the piece of cloth of yellow silk. She laboriously stitched the three sides of the cushion. Now the question is what to fill it with. She looked around the entire house, but she did not find anything. Finally, what happened? She went into the father's bedroom. There on the side of the table, she found some papers, loose sheets of paper lying on the side table, and she thought, being it spare, she tore it into pieces and filled the entire cushion with these papers by tearing them apart. Okay, but she did not know that this, you can say, this act, innocent act of her, or you can say that will fill entirely, or that will entirely lead into a chaos into the house in the evening. Finally, in the evening, when father came, he was looking for his papers. He was looking in the entire house, in the drawing room, in his bedroom. He asked all the servants, he asked his mother also, but nobody knew. Finally, Kezia's mother asked her if she has seen the paper, and Kezia told that she has torn those papers and filled the cushion with. She has made for her father's birthday. And for that, she was fairly beaten by the father. She got the spanking. Her father, you can say, made her hands red with the ruler because these were so important papers for her. It contained the speech for the port authority that he is going to speak. That day was the saddest day of Kezia's life. She sobbed, she cried a lot. Ultimately, her grandmother took her into her lap and wrapped her in a blanket and made her try to sleep. She told also Kezia that she tried to explain it to her father that she has not done it deliberately. It was not an intentional tearing of the papers, but her father was not able to listen anything. But Kezia, because her feelings were so hurt, she was so, you can say, deeply, you can say, filled with sadness that she did not pay any attention to what her grandmother was saying. And the next evening, she saw the neighbor McDonald. Okay, McDonald's. Okay, right, McDonald. This question was also there in the paper that who was Mr. McDonald. Okay, so he was the neighbor of Kezia, right? McDonald, he was playing with his three children. Okay, the youngest child, Mao, sitting over his shoulders, and the two little girls, they were hanging with the coat pockets, and he was moving round and round in the garden, playing with the three children. And looking at McDonald, she came to know, or she thought that there are different kind of fathers in this world. This was perception of Kezia about fathers, right? That there are different kind of fathers. She thought that there are different kind of fathers, and Mr. McDonald is quite affectionate and loving to his children, but my father is of strict nature. And she thought that this nature is, you can say, not, she should not be able to change. She should adjust in that kind of nature. Daksh, move towards the wall, please. So, finally, what happened? After a few days, the life was going on in the same manner. His mother fell ill. Okay, father has gone to office. Grandmother has gone to the grandmother has gone with his mother to the hospital. Nobody was there at home, and Kezia was alone at home with the cook. So the cook finally, after giving food to Kezia, told that she should sleep, and she was trying to sleep, but she was not able. After some time, she slept, and again in the sleep she had the same nightmare in which she has seen the, you can say, she has seen the butcher with a knife and a rope, and who was coming nearer and nearer, and he was giving us that dreadful smile towards her. This made her wake with screaming. She screamed and she shouted aloud, and finally her father came, as cook has also gone out. Her father came into the room, but this time his father, he, you can say, as there was no light in the room, he lit the candle and took Kezia in her arms and took her into his room, where he had a newspaper in his hands. He put aside the newspaper, made Kezia to sleep along with him, and Kezia snuggled his head under his shoulder, and ultimately she slept. During sleeping, while she was, you can say, little bit in unconscious position, or in unconscious state, she was listening to the beating of the heart of her father. she came to know that there are really different kinds of father. She thought Mr. McDonald is quite affectionate to his children, but my father, who is working very hard, who is working day and night, he had no time to turn out to be McDonald. He is working hard in order to provide all the facilities to us, but this time she has come to know that my father is strict from outside, but he also had the same kind of feelings like other human beings. And finally, this little girl finally came to know that his father also had a big heart which is filled with feelings and love for her. And that day, her attitude towards her father was totally changed, which was filled with hatred at that time. Now it has turned out to be a lovable relationship forever afterwards. Okay. So students, any doubt related to this chapter? Afterwards, sit down. Online and offline, clear students? Yes? Yes. She had a nightmare. She had a nightmare in which she thought that a butcher is coming towards her with a knife and a rope, and who is coming nearer and nearer, giving a dreadful smile. This is the nightmare. Yes. Okay. And she screamed in nightmare, and ultimately who has come? His father. Okay. Right. Any other doubts? It's fine. Lakshay, everything is clear? Good. Very good. Can I ask you a question? No? So I hope that everything is clear to you. Okay, that's fine. Now, kindly be silent, Daksh. Silence. Next, we are going to revise the chapter Bismillah Khan from the chapter The Sound of Music. Okay, as only 10 minutes are left, we are not having time to revise the next part, that is evening we will take in the next lecture. So Bismillah Khan, Sound of Music, Shahnai of Bismillah Khan. Okay, so now what this is related? This is related to the famous musical instrument Shahnai, which is often played in North Indian weddings. Okay, but what about the background of this instrument Shahnai? Okay, so this the background of Shahnai, it has started with Pungi. Okay, it was initially called as Pungi, but this Pungi was played in the royal courts of Aurangzeb, but later on it was banned. Why it was banned? Because of the shrill sound that it produced. Okay, because of the shrill sound that it produced, it was banned by Aurangzeb. Later on, a Babur who had an access to the royal courts of Aurangzeb from the family of Babur, he wanted to improve the tonal quality of Pungi. So what he has taken, he had taken a hollow stem which was quite longer and broader than that of Pungi, and he has made 7 holes over it and then produced the sound. The sound produced was quite pleasant, and it was also, you can say, appreciated and liked by all the people in the court. So finally, this instrument, it has termed as Shahnai. Why Shahnai is termed so? Because it was first played in Shah's chamber, and it is played by a Nai, means Babur. Okay, so that's why it was called as Shahnai. Then afterwards, this sound of Shahnai, it is considered to be too auspicious that it has turned out to be an important instrument to be played in the North Indian weddings. Moreover, it is also a part of Naubat. Okay, the 9 ratans, 9 musical instruments that are being played in the royal court. Okay, royal courts. So till recently, it has been played in the weddings, and it is considered to be the most auspicious instrument in the weddings. And apart from it, the only name that is associated with Shahnai is Bismillah Khan, who has brought Shahnai to the world stage. So coming up, now this chapter now further moves to background of Bismillah Khan. Okay, Bismillah Khan, he was born on 21 March 1916. He was born in Dumrao in Bihar. His father, Pagambar Baksh, who is also a good player of Shahnai. Moreover, his grandfather, Rasul Baksh Khan, he was the Shahnai Niwas in the Bhojpuri King's Court. Okay, Bhojpuri King's Court. When he was just 5 years old, he used to go to the He used to go to the Bhojpuri temple, Biharji temple, to sing Bhojpuri Chaita, and for that, as a reward, he is getting a laddu of 1.2 kg of size, quite a big one. Okay, when he was a young child, he was taken by his mother to his, you can say, he was taken by his mother to his maternal uncle's house, whose name in Banaras. Okay, his name was, you can say, Ali Baksh. He would see his uncle playing Shehnai in the Vishnu temple, and since that time he was learning to play Shehnai. He was practicing it. He's practicing it for much of the time. Okay, and when he was practicing, he was used to sit at the banks of the river Ganga where he used to practice. And finally, when he has grown up, Balaji temple as well as the Mangal Maya and the banks of the river Ganga, they turn out to became this young apprentice famous place where he practiced this Shehnai. Okay, when he has grown up at the age of 14 years, Bismillah Khan, he has taken him to Allahabad Music Conference. There, the great musician Ustad Faiz Khan, he patted the back of young player Bismillah Khan and told him that one day he would turn out to be a great player. So in 1938, when All India Radio was set up in Lucknow, he has got the opportunity to play Shehnai for the first time, and which rag he played there? Rag Kafi. Okay, and when India became independent in 1947, his, you can say, Shehnai playing was followed by the famous speech of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, that is my tryst with destiny. Okay, this was the great opportunity, this was the great mark in his life. So Bismillah Khan, he was, you can say, he is not remembered for Shehnai playing in India, but in other countries also. He has played, first of all, if we talk about his world tour, he has played Shehnai for the first time in, you can say, in Afghanistan, where the King Zahir Shah was so pleased by his Shehnai playing that he has gifted him many Persian carpets and other, you can say, costly souvenirs. Okay. Then afterwards, Bismillah Khan Shehnai play. This also, you can say, deeply affected and deeply moved the famous film director Vijay Bhatt, who has named one of his film after his Shehnai, that is Goonj Uthi Shehnai. Okay, and he has also given music for the famous song Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya. But his, you can say, association with the films, it was, you can say, he was associated, or his association with the films was only short-lived. He has not worked in many films. His association was, you can say, limited to only two of the great films, that is Srinivasan's Kannad Venture as well as Sanadi Apanna. Later on, he never liked the artificiality of the film screen and left the movies. And by the time awards, he has got many awards. They were coming thick and fast. Many awards he was getting, and he has also, you can say, he has also performed at the Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. He has also participated in the World Exposition Trade Fair in Cannes and Cannes Art Festival, and in Osaka Trade Fair. And one of the museum which is known as, move to that side, and one of the museum is named after him in Tehran, that is Tahir Mausiqui Ustad Bismillah Khan. So he was given the famous awards Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan. So next we will continue.